So we did just over 1 million on Shopify last year, and I thought this year is the time for us to grow. We're in a really good spot right now. I think we can get to 3 million. So this is going to be the 5-step game plan on getting to 3 million with Shopify, excluding our third-party platform sales like Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and really breaking down the 5 steps how we plan on getting there to share with you guys and give you insight into how you can grow your e-commerce businesses too. You want a little bit more about my story, you can go and check out this video that I'll link on this video you're watching right now that kind of details more of the story that we started in 2015, doing about $7.5 million in sales. Now we've done about 8.5 million, I think, in total, but go check out that video if you're interested. But this video is going to break down, give you some clarity as to what steps you need to take in order to grow your business from 6 multi-6 to 7 multi-7. And really break down what we're noticing is working and what we're going to be implementing this year to give you guys clarity on that. And if you don't watch this video, you're going to miss out on a lot of value that you might miss out on in 2024, and you might not put the focus on that you need to in order to be successful. So here's our plan to grow to $3 million a year in 2024. So currently this is kind of what our operation looks like a little bit. We've got kind of warehouse, we've got a content studio. Laying some of this groundwork gives you guys a bit of a vision of where we're at currently. We've got, offices here. We've got kind of an assembly area where all the products are built. The outside of the building, right here. We've got, content team, also controller builders. And our lobby area, couple of pictures from shipments that have come in. There's me and a couple of the members of the team, me and my business partner. And some of the products. So that's a little bit of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you everything visually. Okay, so I'm going to show the operation $1 million a year versus the operation we need to build to get to 3 million a year. And I'm really going to reveal to you these 5 steps, okay, and how we're actually going to do this. So first and foremost, let's just go ahead and let's start at step 1. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a whiteboarding exercise today. Hopefully this goes smoothly and you guys enjoy this. If you do, let me know down below. We can do more of this in the future. So I have a reference notes as well because there's some numbers we've got to go over to show you guys like what we're doing and how that looks. So if I'm glancing over here, that's what I'm looking at. So in 2023, okay, we did a total of, just over $1 million in sales. Whoops, let's grab something a little bit different here. We did about $1 million in sales. And some of those sales attributed to a few different things. And it's important for us to establish where those sales came from because we need to know in order to scale to 3 million where those sales came from. So just to give you guys a few numbers, we spent a total ad spend for the year. Oh, let me move this out of the way a little bit. Total ad spend. We spent 118,836. Our total conversion value for the year was 716,985. And we had, total sales from this was 3,697 sales. And, let me move that over here, guys. And ROAS, blended ROAS, I'm going to call this blended ROAS because this is across multiple advertising platforms. A blended ROAS was 6.03. Okay, so you can notice ROAS is quite high, right? For those of you who do advertising, this is a pretty high ROAS across sales channels, right? So the truth is that 3/4 of our sales almost came from the actual ads, right? And so 300 and $306,000 roughly, or $308,000 came from organic. Now, our organic sales, we have just over 1 million followers on all of our socials. We have about 500,000 on TikTok. We have, I think, 400,000 on YouTube. We have like 50K on Instagram, and I think we have like 10K on Facebook. So we have a large social media following, and a large part of what we've been able to do this last year, was scale with content. And this was always something that we focused on to get to these numbers. And so really just looking at these numbers, the first step that we need to take, just based on the observations that we've made, is our first step is we need to make and post more content and ads, okay? So our action step is going to be make more, I'm going to say TikTok content. Oops, spelled that wrong. And ads. All right, let's see if you guys can see that and zoom out a little bit more for you guys to see. Cool, right? So in order for us to really scale, I know that we need to output more, right? So if we're able to get to this with, content and ads, then we need to create more of that, right? And these are the things that we've been seeing working really well. To be able to get, a 6.03 ROAS for the year is quite substantial. So we want to keep doing more of that. So that's really going to be our first step. So if you're looking to grow your business, one of the best things that you can do is invest your time into a content team, invest your time into understanding how to make short form content, invest your time into running ads. Typically what we run is UGC based ads. These convert the best for us. So if you're really looking to take things to the next level and you really want to generate more sales, maybe you're not quite at the $1 million a year mark, content is king, okay? Content is key, content is king. And the one concept that I want you to get from this is you can run marketing, you can run ads for the rest of your life, right? But as soon as they go off, what happens to your business? And be real with yourself. If you aren't building your brand, your social media, your digital presence, then you're leaving a lot of money on the table, you're leaving a lot of profitability on the table. And ultimately, if something happens to your ad account, what happens with sales? So we have focused on building brand equity where we're magnetizing our audience to us through our organic social media content. If you don't prioritize this, I believe in the future, the next 5 years, brands who don't connect with their audience are going to lose. Brands who do connect with their audience are going to make a lot more money, a lot more profit, and make a lot more impact. And I know that if you're an e-commerce owner who is following my content, you believe in that too. So that is really step number one, is make more TikTok content and ads. Now, if you want to learn more about how to do this, then check out some other videos. I have more videos coming about creative, and those will be continual topics on this channel. So that's really our first step, okay, is to make more content. Let me just make sure I covered everything that I wanted to. One thing I wanted to mention here for you guys, if you were curious, is on the content that we have, or the sales we have, our AOV right now is around 170. Okay, so we have a bit higher of a product price point. Let's see, our total revenue was 1,025,000. Now, I want to make sure that we touch on what the goals are, right? Like where we need to be, right? So these are some of the high level numbers, but let's actually look at like what this could look like, okay? So we're going to use blue to kind of help demonstrate this. And we're going to take 2023. So we're going to do 2023 and 2024. And let's actually move this a little bit this way. We'll do a little column here. So let's first discuss Google, okay? Google Ads, because Google Ads is a part of what we do for advertising. What does that look like? Okay, let's just make a column here, just like that. So Google, we did 30K about in ad spend last year. And we want to triple this year. So we want to do probably around 100K in ad spend. Okay. So that's Google, right? We need to generate about that much, and we need to hold about, right around 6 ROAS as our average. Now for TikTok, right? Because we run a lot of TikTok ads. We did about 41,000 this last year. And for this year, because we had such a high ROAS return, we want to kind of ramp it up and do about 4x of that ad spend. So about $160,000 in revenue there. And then for Facebook and IG, we spent a total of right around 48K. And this next year, we want to spend around 200K. We basically were able to have a lot of success with Facebook, keep around a 5-6 ROAS, and organic sales, which will come through the creation of more content, which we're going to put organic. Organic, we did around 300K. This next year, we'll do 600K in organic sales, okay? So this is kind of generally kind of the breakdown. This is going to put us at around, let's see. Okay, so wait, that organic is actually revenue generated. All of these are the numbers at ad spend. So ad spend, that's what we're going to try and spend ad spend wise, but revenue wise, from Google, I guess I'm just going to put the output here for Google. So on 100K, we'd like to make 600K revenue on that. On the 160, we'd like to do around 1.1 million, 1.12 million. On the 200K on Facebook, we want to do around 1 million. And then organic, right? We are basically going to say we want to go from 300 to 600K. I know this isn't perfect, but you guys get the point. All right, so what does that actually look like when we look at that across the board? So in order for us to calculate that, we're just going to kind of pull the numbers we just put down. We're going to do about 3.32 million, right? That's kind of what we're on track for. We're going to need about 17,000 sales in order to hit that, with an AOV of around 175. Apologies for the messy handwriting. AOV of 175. So this should help us get to our goal. So output wise, like if we're looking at, what we actually need to be at in order to hit this, we basically need to double and triple down on what we've been doing this last year. So a lot of that's going to consist of increasing our ad spend, making more creators. We're going to be hiring on new people to be able to execute that. And we'll talk about this in the next steps. And so this is kind of the first thing we need to identify is what do we want to do actually as the outputs for the goals that we have and where we need to be in terms of revenue. So that's kind of that broken down. So let's move to step 2 and break down step 2 on what we're going to do here. So the second step here, what we need to execute on is we need to do the hiring, okay? So in order to execute more content, we need to hire more content creators and editors. And spell, there we go. So in order to increase output, we have to have people in place to do this. Now, typically, we want to hire in-house, but for this case, we may be hiring some outsourced editors, some outsourced content creators. And just to show you guys, like generally speaking, kind of what this org chart looks like right now for the company at the moment, we basically have the CMO, and we have the CMO who oversees the creative director. Okay. This is our current org structure. And then we have, right now we have basically some UGC creators, not too many right now, just a few main core UGC creators. And we also have a video editor. All right, let's move this over here. So this is basically our current org structure. All right. So there's not really a whole lot going on with the content department. Like there's very little here that is happening in order for us to be able to output the amount that we're looking to do. So what does this need to look like, and what kind of outputs are we going to be able to? Well, first, let's identify what outputs we're able to achieve in this current state. Okay, just to give you some understanding. So, outputs. What does this team allow us to do? Well, we're creating 3 short videos per week. We have about $1,000 in creative. Oh, what did I say? Ad creative support. So basically, like, we can manage and maintain $1,000 of ad creatives a day with our current team. All right. So we could basically spend about $30,000 a month and be able to keep up with ad creative refreshes, making new ads to put in the campaigns to keep them profitable and all that. That's roughly where we're at. We also do about 1 video a day of repurposing. So this means taking a video and basically putting it on another platform. This is for IG, Facebook, plus YouTube Shorts. Okay. Another output we have is about 1 to 2 social media posts per week. And this is kind of where things kind of fall out of the cracks, but basically sporadic social media commenting. So sporadic social media commenting on posts and communicating with our audience. Okay. So those are our current outputs. This is like kind of what we're actually getting right now and what we can maintain. Now, in order for us to be able to grow to 3 million a year, there's a few things that need to change structurally in our content marketing team in order for us to have these kind of outputs. So this is what I believe we need to move to at the moment. Okay. So we're going to kind of, put this down here, change to blue. So this is kind of what I think we need to move to in terms of an org structure in order to execute this. So let me try and write a little bit smaller here too. So in order for us to kind of structure this, we have a CMO who's overseeing the entire strategy. The CMO is then going to, didn't lock my iPad on myself. The CMO is going to report or have the creative director report to the CMO. So when my page loads up here, we'll go ahead and put that in. All right. So CMO, we're going to have the creative director. Creative director. Okay. And then we're also going to have the videographer. And we're going to have an editor who works underneath the creative director, okay? Now, this part of the company is all in-house. All right? But now, what we need to do is add another portion to this that I think is going to be important for us as we transition to this, because we don't want to push our overhead too high in this transition. We don't yet know how this whole content system is going to work, right? So in this case, what we're going to do is this is all going to be outsourced. Okay, this is going to be managed from like an outsourced perspective. So we're going to have basically 3 main UGC creators who are going to be making content for us on a monthly basis that we need in order to continue to maintain the content, the ads, right? And then we're going to have 2 more video editors This is going to be able to basically help us double or triple our output with more people without adding too much complexity to our org structure here, and still allowing the CMO to direct and manage the entire team, and have the creative director kind of work on the ground with these people. So that is going to be how we're going to achieve this. Now, what are some of the outputs that we're looking to be able to achieve by doing this? I'm just going to put them right here. Outputs, we're going to do about 14 shorts per week. We're going to do about, we're going to have about 3,000 to 4,000 a day in creative support. So this is basically making ad creative for our ads, because we obviously need that in order for us to scale our ad spend budget. We're going to be able to do 2 a day of repurposing. This allows us to kind of increase our output on YouTube and Facebook Reels. And then we also have about 7 social media posts a week, which is like 1 a day. And we're going to have the ability to consistently manage comments. All right, because one thing that's really important as your brand grows is being able to help support and show that you can be there for your audience. And that's one thing that we're still trying to work through right now. And we have a full-time customer support in place, but this is one thing that we've noticed is lacking, is just that support that we need to maintain on social media and through our customer service. That's been one thing we've tried to focus on heavily. And, because your reputation, your brand is really important. And this is what we try to uphold. So this is basically how we're going to, sorry about all the chicken scratch. It's a little messy, but this is basically how we plan on being able to maintain and build a $3 million a year ecom business with this kind of org structure. So that is step 2. That's how we're going to basically implement step 2. And very, very confident in being able to do that. So let's kind of move over to step 3. Like, what happens after this step? All right, so we've kind of established that we need to create more content for TikTok and other socials. We need ad support where we can have creatives kind of flowing in. We know we need to hire more people in order to execute the level of outputs we want to get to 3 million a year. What's next? Like, what else can we do to grow and scale the company to 3 million a year? Well, there's a few things that we've noticed that worked really, really well for us last year and have worked for us since we started. We've really been able to garner about, I think, just over 1 billion views or impressions across our account. It's 1 billion views. And it's really helped us to build credibility in the market that we're in such a short amount of time. And so you'll see a trend here that a lot of the steps that we're going to focus on is around content. And one of the pieces of this is leveraging other creators to make content around our products and about our brand. And so step 3 involves some of these aspects. And I noticed that too many businesses and brands don't focus enough on content. The way that you can connect and kind of bridge that gap between where your customers are and where you can build enough rapport with them to be able to convert into sales. A lot of businesses are out of touch with how to attract and magnetize people to them on social media. Building a digital presence and building a digital footprint is extremely important to garnering attention, but also generating profitable advertising and sales that can bring in high profitability over time. In the beginning, content can be a little bit scary because you don't really know how to approach it. There's a lot of investments in making content, but ultimately it is the long-term play. Building brand equity, building that brand that honestly owns the attention of people in your market niche is super powerful. At the click of a button, at the making of a video or a post, you can sell stuff directly to your customers, whether it's a new product, you got a sale going on, you just want to generate more sales that month. You have that control. So what does step 3 look like? What are we looking at here? Well, step 3, what we noticed worked really well for us is UGC creators and leveraging them to make content for us. So one big thing that TikTok has been rolling out if you guys haven't been aware of it, is TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop is one of the biggest opportunities right now in e-commerce on TikTok. So if you're not leveraging this opportunity, you are missing out on so much money. It's actually crazy. And TikTok will boost your posts with TikTok Shop products linked. It's kind of crazy right now. It's kind of the gold rush on TikTok. So step 3 is going to involve create a TikTok affiliate program. Okay. Now, let's talk about how this actually looks in terms of our organizational chart. Okay. So this org chart, we're going to have our creative director, which we talked about in the last step. Okay. Our creative director is going to be managing this program. Okay. So we basically have our creative director. We have the TikTok creative program. Oh, it's not creative program. TikTok shop affiliates. Right. And then we got our UGC creators who come through the TikTok shop. Now, if you don't have your products listed on TikTok shop, that's a whole nother video that we need to dive into and kind of break down. But this is a really important part of how we're going to leverage other people's audiences to help grow. Now, TikTok has all of this infrastructure integrated. They're currently pushing TikTok shop sales. This is a great opportunity for you to get in, list your products, and find and DM creators that can promote your products, where TikTok usually covers the cost of the sample they need to make the video. And you don't even have to pay for it. So it's absolutely insane right now. You can give creators a brief and everything. It's so crazy. So this is something we're going to leverage this year because we believe there's huge opportunity and huge potential with this, especially with the current brand exposure we've already gotten. So this is going to allow us to have somewhere between 20 to 30 extra creators that we can have on board that fit into the org structure, right? And this is going to be managed through that TikTok shop affiliate. So the outputs that we're going to be able to do on this, and what I would recommend is, before we get into the outputs, is if you are a brand who doesn't have a lot of content made for your products and what you do, then this is something that I would highly, highly recommend that you look into, because whether you don't know how to make creative, you don't know how to make videos, you don't know how to make content around your products, these creators have some experience doing that. And so if they can create content for you, you can also use the creative and the videos that they make and post it on your own brand and business page. This will help you be more relatable. This will help you to build that authority that you're looking to create online, and will only help you generate a higher return on your ads, which is crazy. That's a whole nother discussion that we can get into. So there are lots of different affiliate programs. TikTok is the focus. It's the biggest opportunity right now. Highly recommend you lean into that as your focus, but this is what we're going to be doing this year and what we're going to be creating. So what do our outputs look like? Okay. What kind of outputs do we have to focus on? So our outputs is we're going to have a continuous flow of organic and paid, right? This is going to give us a ton of content, which is exactly what we're looking for. We're going to have all the raw footage and clips from the creators, which then we can use to make our own content in-house. And this is a very important part of the process, because this is huge for you as a business, is you can take and use content that they've created for you and kind of mix and match different clips to create additional new original videos. And then the other thing is affiliate sales. Through these affiliates, right? So now the amount of money this is going to generate, not 100% sure, but we definitely believe that this can help us to generate more content. All right, so far we've talked about 3 steps. We've talked about how we need to make more content, short form content. We We need to hire more people in order to get that amount of content. And now we're implementing an affiliate program to help us generate even more content. So you can notice a trend here. Every step of the way, in order to help us get to $3 million a year, it involves making content, whether that's creative for organic or it's for paid. Very key piece of our business has been around being able to generate the amount of people who've seen our brand in a short amount of time is through this. And so as a business, this is something you should seriously start thinking about, because the return that we get on our ads, TikTok specifically, we generated over 7 ROAS the entire year of 2023. Now, normal average ROAS is somewhere between 2.5 or 2 to 3 ROAS. And so if you're looking to generate more profit in your business, content is the key. Okay, content's the bridge in the gap. This is how you get more profitable. So, step number 3 is TikTok affiliate program. Now, let's move over and talk about step number 4. Now, we've talked about content enough now where it's time to move to another topic that I believe has been, in our business, it's been lacking a little bit. And we just haven't had the people in place in order to execute that level of focus that we need in order to be successful. Email and SMS is a big part of our business that we haven't been spending enough time on, where we have a list now that has been largely growing very, very quickly over the last year or two, because we have so much content. We have people coming to our website, opting in, and this is creating a very large email list. I'm pretty sure right now we have, it must be close to 40,000 or so that we built from scratch. So a lot of people that we can remarket to, and we can have branded campaigns, themed campaigns that we've implemented last year, but it's been more sporadic. It hasn't been a consistent thing that we've done. We haven't had a lot of time to put effort into the copy of the emails and really hone in a strategy on how to implement that. So for step number 4, we believe that helping us generate more revenue profitably is going to be implementing and hiring an email and SMS, hire email and SMS expert. This is kind of a hole in the business that I think could really use some focus, and I think that it could be very profitable, because the times we have been able to implement this for our marketing, it has panned out quite well. One of our last campaigns we ran through the holiday season, we were able to garner over about 10,000 emails that we collected during the month of December, which is absolutely absurd. We were at a higher scale last month or December, and we were collecting a lot of emails. So how does that look for the management of that? Now, based on the way that we have our company structured right now, we're going to have the CMO, who also, we have basically the creative director that oversees most of the content. In this case, to not overflow the creative director with too much work, we're actually going to put this management on the CMO. So we're going to have the email and SMS marketing on the CMO, and we're also going to have this is going to be outsourced, right? So I'm not going to bring someone in-house yet. This is going to be in-house. We have kind of a combination of both, because we don't want to create our overhead to be too much, but this is going to make the most sense for right now. So the cool thing about this step is, I think that we can generate an extra somewhere between 50 to 100K in additional revenue this year. I really think that we can do that with email. If we have a consistent schedule, sending emails every week, SMS is going out, I really think that's possible. So that's going to be like kind of our revenue goal. But in terms of like outputs and what this is actually going to help us to be able to do, is it's really going to help us be consistent, right? And push out campaigns. I think this is going to be important to building that brand reputation with our customers, is consistent output, or consistent emails, and maximizing on our sales, right? We run promotions, we can actually promote them all through email, because sometimes we don't always get the opportunity to do that. So that is one of the outputs. One of the other outputs is, being able to collab with designer. So one thing that's really important to us is focusing on the design, aesthetic, and how things look and feel, the experience you're creating through email. So we're going to be able to basically improve the quality, the look and feel. So I'm just going to say look and feel of our emails. Very important part of your business is that experience that you're creating in that email. Like, what emotions is it conveying in the email, right? And also copywriting. And then, other output here, an important thing would be meeting with the creative director and also CMO. So basically have a weekly marketing meeting where we all meet together, we make sure we're on the same page, and we square everything away, make sure it's all tight, and we've got campaigns going. We're all aware of like what those campaigns are, and we're implementing those all consistently across all of the things that we're doing. So really, like, the goal here for this particular line item, or these line items, is the goal is to basically coordinate promotions. And we want to maximize, I guess I just changed the color. Maximize sales potential. Okay. Very important for us. So that's going to help us kind of fill that hole and not eat up as much time from the CMO, a little bit of overlap with the creative director as well to really hone in on that piece of the puzzle here. So that's going to be step 4 in getting us to 3 million. Now, if you don't have one of these in place, if you're looking to kind of implement this for your business, like, this is definitely something that you want to have, especially if you have a good solid email list already. Building that rapport with your customers is very important. And so even if you can't do as much output as you want to, at least send them an email once a month and focusing that email on not just sales, but also value, right? So for us in gaming, we can send out an email that talks about the launch of, for example, Modern Warfare 3 that came out last year. This video or this email would include details about it and just provide value to our audience, right? It doesn't need to be pushy with sales all the time. It can be building that relationship with the customers and knowing that GameNetics can be a reliable source for them to be able to get their information. So that is step 4 in helping us get to 3 million. Now, what is the last step? What is everything that's going to kind of bring everything together in step number 5? Let's have a look. Okay, step number 5. Now, step number 5, this piece of the puzzle kind of encapsulates everything that we've been doing and everything we've been talking about and getting here. Because if the main source of where we're generating sales from isn't performing the way it needs to, then we're going to be held back with the results and what we can actually generate from scaling our ads, hiring on new people, focusing on email, SMS, right? We want to be able to get the most options we can, get the highest conversion rate we can, and maximize on the traffic and the extra traffic we're getting. So one big investment that we can make this next year is really updating our website. So step number 5 is, I'm going to do this in a different color, is update our website. And there's specific things that we need to update. So obviously it's more focused on CRO, which is conversion rate optimization, but there's 2 key pieces. One is the ease of use, how people get around the site and how easy they can find products. And 2, it's going to be just the overall experience. These are 2 things that we've gotten feedback from our customers over the last year where we really think we can step it up and make some improvements here. So in order for us to do this, we have to have someone who's kind of overseeing that. So for the CMO, this is going to be one of the tasks that he has, where we're going to be basically having a creative agency that we've worked with before help us to implement these changes into the website. They helped us build it. They know the infrastructure. So we're going to be leveraging them to help us kind of accomplish that. And that's going to be the goal. And so what this is going to do, right? If we think about this, if we're able to generate, let's just say last year we had 500,000 visitors, right? 500,000 visitors. and our conversion rate was, just to keep things really simple, 1%. How many people are we going to get to convert to buy something, right? We're going to get 5,000 people. But if we can get, let's say we double the amount of visitors, which we should at least double the amount of visitors because we're spending more than double the amount of ad spend. Let's say we get a million visitors in a year and we convert at 2%. Then we're going to end up getting a total of 20,000 sales, right? Now, what's interesting here is we've only doubled the amount of visitors, but we've increased our conversion rate by 1%. So this means that we've actually times 4, right? We've increased our output by 4 times compared to 2 times. So the multiplier, when you start getting a lot of traffic and being able to focus on the amount of people that are coming to the site, this is a very crucial piece of this puzzle, okay? So make sure that this is something that you think about, especially depending on the amount of visitors that you're getting to your site. This is the key thing for us where we can increase this. It's going to generate us so much more money, more than what it costs to update the website, right? So this is the big thing for us, right? So what we're going to do is, the outputs that we're going to be able to create from this and what we're going to get out of doing this is we're going to be able to create a better user experience, right? Create better experience. We're also going to be able to improve conversion rate, which is going to help us generate more sales. Oh, if I can spell or write anything that doesn't look like a blob of nothing. And then integrate promotions into our website. So what I'm kind of referencing here is if we run a campaign for the summer, we want to be able to design graphics and elements onto the website that can also go on the website to keep everything seamless across all of our platforms. This is a big thing that we can actually do if we're able to focus on the website, okay? So that's basically our 5 steps to get to 3 million, okay? This is going to help us to achieve our goals. If we just kind of have a look and overview our steps here and what we've been able to do. So last year we did $1 million in sales. We did about $715,000 from ads, and we did about $300,000 from organic. We're going to focus on making more TikTok content and ads. And the way we're going to do that is basically double, triple, and quadruple our budgets that we have on certain ad accounts. This is going to help us do around 3.3 million, at least projected, about 17,000 sales with an AOV of 175. I really think that this is doable. I'm really confident that we can do this. Then step 2, we're going to hire more content creators and editors. This is going to allow us to be able to expand and execute on our step 1. We can implement more content, more UGC creatives into our organic, into our paid, and basically increase our outputs, right? And the way we're going to increase our outputs is basically 3 short videos per week. We're going to go from 3 short videos per week is what I mean, to a total of 14 shorts per week. We're going to go from $1,000 in ad creatives per day to be able to manage about $3,000 to $4,000 a day creative support. 1 video a day repurposing to 2 days repurposing for YouTube and Facebook and Instagram Reels. And then 7 social media posts from 1 to 2 social media posts. And then our sporadic commenting and managing those comments to consistently being able to manage those comments with this new org structure, okay? Then step 3, we're going to create a TikTok affiliate program. This is going to allow us to increase content output even more and have a program we can have through TikTok, which is our bread and butter. Have a creative director manage the TikTok shop affiliates, have about 20 to 30 UGC creatives that are making videos about our products and help us basically use content here to flow into the step 1 and 2. Step 4, we're going to hire an email SMS expert that's going to come in and help us to have promotions and consistent branded campaigns throughout the year. Going to help us add about a 50 to 100K in additional revenue, I think. And then the outputs is just going to be basically being able to collaborate with the design team, helping to increase our output of emails and SMS to basically maximize our sales potential when sales come around. Then lastly, update our website, focus on CRO, ease of experience, or ease of use and experience, right? And basically, we can really add some heavy multipliers here in order to get to these steps and help us execute on that level. So this has been the game plan to go from 1 million a year to 3 million a year, and the plan that we are going to implement to get there. I'm really excited for this year and what's around the corner. We're really excited to see where this can go. And this is just based on my experience of what we've been able to do the last couple of years. By no means am I saying this is the only way to do it, but this is the way that we're going to start implementing and executing on to see how it goes this year. I really am confident that we can do this. And it's been quite a journey getting to this point. So if you guys are looking to learn more about e-commerce, more about TikTok and content and creatives, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be making a video on making more creatives or making TikTok-based creatives to help you create profitable ads, to help you grow your brand presence for your business, to actually connect with your audience and your customers on social media. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate you being here. Hopefully this has been helpful. Let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.